Hello, and thanks for your interest in the York Autism Spectrum Disorder Partnership. If you've been exploring our website, you may have learned about the benefits that the partnership's shared electronic record and warm transfer protocol bring to families dealing with an autism diagnosis. However, it's also important to spotlight the improvements in efficiency and job satisfaction that our partner agencies enjoy. To this end, we interviewed intake workers at two high-profile York Region autism agencies on what the process was like before the YASDP was put in place and how things have changed for the better. First, let's meet the women who generously donated their time for an interview.
My name is Erin Crawford.
I'm Dixie Howie.
And I'm a service navigator with Children's Treatment Network through the Access Center.
I work at Kerry's Place Autism Services in our Access Department. And I mainly do intake and reconnection to service.
Thanks very much. Now, a cornerstone of the ASD partnership is the ability for intake workers to warmly transfer callers between community services. Please describe your experience directing callers to other organizations before this process was put in place.
It's our role to connect with families and make appropriate and effective services and resource connections to help meet their needs.
Well, before the warm transfer protocol was in place, callers were often directed to other agencies by being given a list of names and numbers.
The information obtained from a family is recorded in the shared electronic record. Prior to the implementation of the warm transfer protocol, if CTN was not the appropriate service, or if CTN could not solely meet the needs of the family, a service navigator may have connected with other agencies to determine the most appropriate recommendations. And in some cases, the navigator may have given a number of the agency directly to the family to contact. Either way, the family would have had to repeat the reason for their call and their story to the other agency or the service provider that had the most appropriate support. As a service navigator, you would have always been left wondering, was the family actually able to connect with the other agencies?
This led to frustration.
And it's really disheartening to think that the family had to spend time retelling their story again
because overworked and overwhelmed callers had yet another thing to do.
That sounds exasperating for everyone involved. Parents had to retell their stories over and over again, and it seems like you would have preferred to provide an easier experience for them. Now that things have changed with the warm transfer protocol and single plan of care, what are the steps you take when a family calls?
The warm transfer protocol has reduced that feeling of a telephone intake and really allowed for a more personal approach to serving families. That client or family receives an open invitation to have someone on their side, helping to link them to all appropriate resources in the community and really ensuring that there's no gaps in service.
With the warm transfer protocol in place, families are given options for a seamless and immediate connection to agencies, avoiding delay and frustration.
The same initial steps are taken as before the protocol was in place. We listen actively to what the client has to share about their needs, and we work together with the family to build on those strengths. This may continue to include providing the family with links and contact information to various services and supports.
True warm transfer is my favorite, and the steps are easy.
Now we're able to help families take those next steps together collaboratively with the other agencies.
We get verbal consent from the caller and document this,
either by calling the other services on behalf of that family, or
we connect through to the other agency, share the necessary information,
or engaging in things like a three-way call to provide an on-the-spot connection,
and then connect the caller via a three-way conference call.
The warm transfer protocol has also helped us to streamline the intake process from agency to agency within the network.
If immediate connection is not possible, then we leave a message and with the information for the other agency to follow up directly with the caller.
Providers can review information already in the shared record and can build on the information obtained by the other programs and services. This reduces the amount of information the family needs to repeat, and it also provides agencies with sort of that background information needed so that they're not spending as much time obtaining the information again, and they can really focus on the service that they're going to provide. Everyone, including the family, is reassured and feels part of the service system as a team.
That sounds like it makes things much more efficient for you in terms of accessing additional services for your clients, and like it might be providing them some needed support. With that in mind, how are families responding to the process?
They love the warm transfer process.
We do see satisfaction from families as they're able to access supports and services effectively when requests for services are being made
Families are relieved and grateful to be understood
without multiple phone calls being made or receiving conflicting information from service providers.
and to be connected to the appropriate services immediately.
This protocol allows families to feel they're not alone in the process of accessing services for their child or family.
Some callers, though, prefer to make the connection to other agencies on their own. However, they still very much appreciate the offer of the warm transfer. I think this helps them feel more motivated or maybe comfortable to go ahead and make that call on their own.
We also hope that we're modeling a system of collaboration and cooperation where everyone is working together to meet the child's needs.
Committing to this warm transfer process really makes a statement to the families that we are listening, vested in helping, and that we truly care.
It sounds like you give families not just support, but confidence to continue on their autism journey. How do the new process and the response to it from your clients make you feel about your work?
The positive response and gratitude that I receive makes me thankful for the opportunity to better help callers.
And it brings back the notion that we're walking through the process of accessing these supports hand in hand together with the family instead of guiding them in another direction.
This new warm transfer process really exemplifies our agency's mission, vision, and values.
It's created a feeling for closure for us as we are confident now that families are connected to the supports they have requested, and now that they have someone on their side helping them advocate to access services that would benefit their individualized strengths and needs.
To best support our families and work collaboratively with partner agencies. That is very important for my work.
We really do try to approach each call we receive with the idea that if it were any one of us on the other end calling and we were trying to access the support, have we really listened actively and in turn helped to create those next step plans that we can follow through and work with together?
I am proud of this and I really enjoy my work.
It's great to hear that intake workers get some extra personal satisfaction with all that's going on. This means that an agency benefits from working with the partnership. Any other thoughts on this new collaborative process?
The warm transfer protocol has not only helped callers, it has provided the opportunity to develop and strengthen relationships between agencies. This results in working together to provide coordinated support and more awareness of each other's services.
We're also really excited to have other agencies participate in the shared record. It's really useful to us when we do receive a call and we can review the record and see that a family is waiting for a specific service or used to be involved with a particular agency. And this is helping us to reflect that information back to them and really building confidence that we are working through this process and working all together.
So thank you to the ASD Partnership as they have brought agencies together, provided consistent training, guidelines, and tools to best support families and workers.
You're quite welcome. With the warm transfer process and single plan of care, the York ASD Partnership is not only making lives easier for families with autism, but more efficient and rewarding for the support workers helping them along the way. If you'd like to learn more about all of these initiatives, please continue exploring our website to find out how we can work together. Thanks for watching.